How's it going, guys? My name is DJP, and welcome back into the Madden NFL 24 Franchise Winning Challenge. We're back for their next AFC Conference Championship team, and we're doing the Denver Broncos. So, before we get into the gameplay, make sure to like, subscribe, comment down most videos, go to socials, playlist, second channel, main channel, down in the description if you like other content to be DJP. In addition to that, rules are down in the description, how we're doing this, and we're going to continue to do this. All 32 teams, based on standings, 5 seasons in a Super Bowl, injuries on, and all that other good stuff that's down below that I probably didn't mention. Oh yeah, not meant to be realistic. So, one thing I will say is I tried recording this before, my microphone completely broke. Like it actually, like the firmware broke, I had to fix it. I was able to fix it, thank goodness. But hopefully it doesn't break this time, and hopefully the audio doesn't sound terrible. It doesn't seem like it does I'm watching it, because I wasn't recording at all, and we're back here. So, with that being said, let's hop into the gameplay. Alright, so here we are in the game. Let's take a look at the roster I'm going to be dealing with here today. So we got the Broncos. Surtain the second, he is our best player, but we're going to by position and quarterback. We got Russell Wilson. I don't know if we're going to keep the entire video because a lot of money. A lot of money, and he's going to regress. He's 34 years old, so the best years are behind him. Javonte Williams, though, he's going to definitely improve, and you also got Smash Barun. Michael Burton fullback. We got Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick as our wide receivers. KJ Hamler's off here as well. Greg Dulcich as our tight end. Trotman's there too. Garabolas. He's there at left tackle. Left guard, Ben Powers. Got Lloyd Cushenberry, the third. By the way, if I mispronounce any names, let me know down in the comments below. I know you guys will. Quinn Miners, right guard. Got Mike Glinchey. He is our right tackle. Left end's going to be Tyler Lancaster. Definitely want to improve that. Zach Allen, right end. We've got the man, the myth, the legend, DJ, playing the defensive tackle. Gregory out there at the left side linebacker position. Josie Jewell. And also Alex Singleton, mid linebackers. Frank Clark, right outside linebacker. And, of course, Patrick second. He is our best cornerback. Quan Williams and Damari Mathis. He's there, too. Justin Simmons, obviously free safety. He's a solid player. Kareem Jackson, strong safety, who I guess at some point we're probably going to end up having to get rid of him just because he's going to get up there in age. Brett Maher is our kicker. Punter, Bradley Dixon. And then you got some picks here. Nothing too crazy with the picks, but we'll see if there's any moves that we could potentially make to try to acquire more picks. We probably want to free up some money at some point. So let's take a look at the improved team. Functionality, reason being is I want to see if there's any positions that we can look to improve on now, and I think a couple of those would definitely be like the left end spot, which is right at D. So if there's anybody out there we can try to trade for, maybe Boogie Sham Jr., I wouldn't mind trying to trade for him. He fits the scheme of the team, and he's a relatively young player. And, I mean, if they're going to do this, Sang Bassi, I mean, yeah, I'd give them a Sang Bassi. We could also give them a 4th and 7th round pick, or just a 4th round pick, but we're going to do this because we don't need like a 5th string cornerback. So we got a left end, which is pretty solid. Needed that. Is there any other position that we might want to try to acquire? Potentially a center couldn't be a too bad of a deal. We've got someone for our line. Would there be anybody here that's relatively interesting? We know Justin Britt, but that's not a huge upgrade there. Ben Jones, maybe for a season, wouldn't be too bad. I could sign him. 34 years old. Yeah, we'll give him a contract just for 1 year because he'll probably end up regressing regardless. So we'll sign him. I think that's gonna be it for moves though for me. We'll see how well this team does. I don't know if we're gonna make the playoffs. I do think we're gonna be better than what were we? The Broncos 5-12 last season. They should be better than that. So I'll see you guys at the mid-season point. Maybe we'll look to make a move then. But for now, kind of just keep the team. All right, so we're sitting at 3-4 right now, interestingly enough. Let's take a look here at the standings. So, what do we got going on over here? Let's look at the standings. Curious to see. So, we're 3-4 right now, which isn't too bad. Looking at the team and how we're playing, I mean, relatively speaking, I would like us to be doing a bit better, but so far, not awful. I don't know if we're going to make the playoffs. I mean, we're in the AFC West. We've got the Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders also to deal with, but we're right there. I mean, there's a chance that we could all potentially make the playoffs. I mean, if we have to go like 10-3 the rest, 7-3 the rest of the way. Maybe finish 10-7. That'd be kind of cool. But if we look at the rankings, yeah, you can see offensively Some rankings are good. We're actually passing the ball a lot. Defense could be better. Obviously, Kansas City's going to probably... defensively, we're pretty bad. So, something to work on. Don't want to quit franchise mode just yet, buddy. So, let's take a look at the stats here and see what is cooking. So, Russell Wilson's having a nice season so far. 1,702 yards, 12 TDs, 6 interceptions. Not bad. 99.8 passer rating. 66% completion percentage. Definitely take that. So, that looks good there. Javonte Williams, 445 yards, only 1 TD. Samaji, he's got 3 TDs. Okay, Jerry Jeudy, 504 receiving yards, 4 receiving touchdowns. Courtland Sutton, 393, 265 for Marvin Mims Jr. He's a rookie. Had a nice rookie season so far. He's doing all right, I guess, Blocking's doing okay. Defensively, Josie Jewell leading our team in tackles with 54. Then we got 47 from Singleton. How many sacks we got here? 2 from Allen and DJ. Jewell's got 1. So does Singleton, Gregory, and Frank Clark. Interceptions, we got 4 as a team. Quan with that 2. Mathis, and of course, Patty Boy with 1. Brett Meyer, 8 of 9. Kicking, so that's cool there. And you got your punting, kick return, and punt return. So, yeah, I mean, offensively, total yards gained, total offensive yards, rather. We're 6th right now in the league. So that's pretty good. And our passing is going to be closer to the top of the league. Our rush is more like a middle of the pack. 20.9 points per game. That's another kind of average at best, maybe slightly below average. Defensively is where we are been struggling, so we got to improve that in the off season for sure. 1,685 yards given up. That's a little too much for my liking. Rush wise, I mean, I think we're okay at that. 171 points allowed is close to the top of the league. In top, I mean, like actually in the bottom. So, again, we don't really have much money to work with. I mean, I could try to move. I mean, the biggest contract on our team is Russell Wilson, but I don't want to move him yet. He's having a decent season. We have a chance to make the playoffs. So, I think we kind of just rock out with the team as is, and if we want to make a move at the in the offseason, that'd be the move to do then. So, we'll just wait it out, and I'll see you guys at the end of the season. All right, so the boys, the Broncos, the Horsies, going 7-10, not making the playoffs. I mean, I'm not surprised that they didn't make the playoffs, but actually our defense did end up doing pretty well. We didn't end up scoring, better. The offense took a little bit of a dip in terms of scoring output. Passed the ball a lot, though. Let's look at the standings. I mean, you can see that cap room, not too high. Yeah, 7-10. We do have our pick. So that, I mean, I guess is okay. I mean, it's not really an amazing pick, but we could probably look to do something with it. Who knows what. But let's simulate and see what we got going on. Let's look at the stats, actually. That's what I meant to look at first. So, yeah, there's a little bit of room of improvement. I mean, we got to see how Wilson did. I mean, honestly, coming off a solid season, I guess. 28 TDs, 13 interceptions, threw over 4,000 yards, 95% passer rating. 63% completion percentage. Yeah, it's not too bad. Javonte Williams, really good season from him. 1,167 yards, 4 TDs, 405 for Samaji. He was really good. Jerry Jeudy, 1,200 receiving yards, 8 TDs. That's pretty impressive. Courtland Sutton, 750 yards, 4 TDs, 714 and 7 for Greg Dulcich. Marvin Mims Jr., 691 yards. 5 touchdown receptions. How about blocking? Let's take a look at blocking here, because that's pretty interesting. McGlinchey, Bowles, okay. I mean, he allowed up 9 sacks. Tackle-wise, Singleton and Jewell, the mid linebackers, leading there. Not too surprising. How are we doing on sacks? 4 from Allen, 3 from Gregory, 2.5 from GJ and Drew. Sham Jr., 1.5. We had 11 interceptions as a team. A bunch of guys with 2 and then a few guys with 1 down here. Kicking, Myers, 17-22. That's okay. Not too bad. Dixon, 43 punts. And then we got your kick returns and punt returns as well. Tremont Smith being that guy there. So, yeah, 6th in terms of total offensive yards, which is nice. Obviously, we're up there in passing. Our rush ended up being pretty high as well. I think, yeah, like maybe middle. But yeah, the scoring did dip a little bit, 21.3. So I would like to score a little bit more. Defensively, we also picked it up a bit in the second half of the season, which was good. Started to defend the passing a little bit better, which is what you like to see. And then rush defense was like middle-ish. And yeah, 360 points allowed was, I think, also right around the middle of the pack. So there's a little bit of work to do. I mean, 7 and 10, we're pretty close, but not close enough. Let's see what we could do in the offseason. We're going to simulate 2 of these Super Bowls, see who wins it, and then go on to the offseason. So the Super Bowl has the Bills beating the Eagles 24-17. Which is pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. Josh Allen, Super Bowl MVP. Bills finally get that Super Bowl that they're looking for. Dak Prescott with an MVP? Wow. Doug Peterson, Cooper Kupp, Von Miller, Jackson Smith, Jigba, and Will Anderson Jr., your rookies of the year, respectively. Let's go on to the offseason. Got a little bit of work to do, but we don't have a lot of money. That's one thing I will mention. Not a lot of money, but a little bit of work to do. $22 million, more or less, in cap room space. We're going to accept Patrick Surtain's option, obviously. Why wouldn't we? Definitely want to keep him around. A few other guys who wouldn't mind reselling. KJ Hamler, Josie Jewell. So, yeah, we'll probably try to get those guys back. Nothing too crazy here in terms of free agency. Some of these guys we could probably let walk. Maybe we try to find a different strong safety to replace Kareem Jackson because he is 36 years old. Maybe someone that fits the scheme of the team. So, yeah, I'm going to offer a couple guys contracts, see who end up keeping on the team, and we will go from there. All right, so a couple guys I couldn't get. KJ Hamler would like to re-sign, but I couldn't get him. Kareem Jackson will probably end up replacing him. I do need to get a couple players here in the free agency, but I don't have a lot of money. So I'll see what ends up happening. Maybe we can draft a couple guys as well to fill out the rest of the team. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a thin free agency for sure because we don't have a lot of money. All right, I traded for Phillips and Jones from the Steelers for Uzurike, Singleton, and Smith, and I traded a first, second, third round pick in 2026. I'm hoping at that point we're competing. Might have been a bad trade, but we'll see. I mean, a couple young guys. I mean, Ben Jones, young guy, so hopefully he's going to be pretty good. I think he could be a good left tackle. Fits the scheme of the team. I think we have a tad bit more cap space to play around with, so I'm going to see if I can maybe try to sign one more guy for the team, and then after that, we're just going to kind of rock with the draft and see if we can draft anybody young. All right, let's take a look here at the team. So if we look at the roster, actually not. Sorry, I don't want to look at the roster yet. Ooh, I don't want to quit either. I'm in free agency recap. I want to show you guys who we picked up because we picked up a few guys. Obviously, the trades that we made. Maybe a dumb trade, but I mean, it's fine though. Shaquille Griffin, cornerback. Got Nathan Shepard, defensive tackle, and then James Hurst, left tackle. It's nothing too wild, but I did need another corner, and yeah, hopefully. You know, with our new left tackle a little bit weaker than before, but we got the draft. Let's see if we can maybe take somebody with our first pick. Kind of just hope for the best. I think I'm going to take a strong safety here. I'm going to go with Lamar Ferguson out of... where is he from? He's from UCF. Yeah, UCF. So we're going to take him. I might be a bit of a reach there, but I did need a string safety, so welcome to the squad, Lamar Ferguson. All right, I'm going to make this trade here with the Lions. We're going to trade down, third round pick, get a 6th rounder as well as a 7th rounder and a 7th rounder in 2025. So just a little bit of extra draft capital here for this 3rd round pick. All right, so I want to show you guys the draft recap. I only showed you my first pick in that trade that we made to get a little bit more extra draft capital for this draft as well as a 7th rounder next season. So yeah, I mean nothing too crazy here, but obviously got Ferguson, Edens, Mentor. I'm guessing that's Truman, Baker, Mason, Schwartz, Kenny Dickerson, and then Dawson. I love how they censor that. It's just Urson. It's just so dumb. Anyways, so yeah, we signed all those guys. Pretty happy with that, or drafted all these guys, and pretty happy with that. So yeah, we're gonna keep everybody. I don't know what action does. Does this stats and contract set as captain? Trade away. I can trade away. I can release. I can edit him. Ooh, we could actually edit him. and make him a 99 overall. I don't think that we're going to do that, though. We're not going to cheat. All right, let's go on to the season's upon us. Let's take a look at the roster that we're going to be fielding here in the second season. I'm kind of excited. Kind of interesting to see how this team's going to do. I could see us being bad. I have that weird feeling that for some reason the second season might be terrible. If that's the case, I might have to move Russell Wilson because he is making a lot of money and he's going to be regressing. But we also got Javonte Williams, 24 years old, is coming off a really good season. Wide receivers, Judy, Sutton, Patrick, Mims Jr. as well as here. So, pretty solid there. Dolch is our tight end. He's got superstar development. So that's cool. Broderick Jones, left tackle. I said Ben Jones before, but I meant Broderick. Ben Powers, left guard. Lloyd Cushenberry, the third center. Right guard, Quinn Miners. Right tackles, Mike Glinchey. Boogie Basham Jr., left end. Right end is Zach Allen. We've got Nathan Shepard as defensive tackle, him and Mason. Randy Gregory, right now he's kind of injured. Not a big deal. Josie Jewell, mid linebacker with Sanders. Our outside linebacker, Baron Browning. He's our guy. Starting the second, we got Shaquille Griffin, who we picked up. Riley Moss and Damari Mathis. All these guys, except for certain second, fit the team. Also, Devontae Hood, too. That's the team. Justin Simmons, free safety. Of course, we got the man, the myth, the legend, Adrian Phelps is our strong safety. We traded for it. And also, we drafted Lamar Ferguson. I know we have him, and I said I needed a strong safety, and we took Adrian Phelps. But he is going to eventually, I guess, regress. So maybe next season, Lamar Ferguson will be a starter, if not this season. I mean, he's got a good mentor. And we got to sign a kicker, so we'll do that at the start of the second season. Not a problem. Well, basically right now. So, yeah, let's sign a kicker. So we'll go to the improved team. Just whoever's out there in the market, we'll just pick them up. Again, we don't have a lot of money, so it's kind of difficult to pick up anybody, really. I'll go Chase McLaughlin, if I can get him. Can we get Chase? Yes, let's get Chase McLaughlin. You must clear 540K. Can't get him then, I don't think. So I can't get him, then who can I get? Unless I can clear 540K. I can get Dicker, potentially. Dicker? Clear 140K, don't I? Yeah, I gotta clear 140K. I mean, alright, let me clear up some money. I'll just try to trade for like a draft pick. Alright, I traded Washington to the Cardinals just for a 7th round pick. I think that'll free up enough money to then allow us to sign a kicker. And that'll be about it. So let's take a look at the improved team and see if we can do that. We had a lot of wide receivers, that's why I did it. And is that gonna be enough? Let's see. Can we sign Chase McLaughlin? We can, just barely. But we could dead him. So Chase McLaughlin was going to be our kicker. Alright, that's going to be it for me for moves. I'll see you guys at the midseason. I have a feeling that we're going to be bad. But maybe, just maybe, we'll surprise. Alright, well, we're at the mid-season point, and we're actually sitting 5-2. We're looking pretty good. At a bye, and yeah, you can see our offense is actually doing really well. Defensively, we've been pretty solid, so I'm kind of surprised. I didn't think we'd be doing this good. Usually the game likes to give me the good old middle finger when it comes to the second season, but the Broncos are playing pretty well. There's a chance we can make the playoffs this season. Wasn't really expecting it. I honestly wasn't, but I'm hoping that we don't choke in the second half of the season. I might have jinxed myself. I'll take a look at the stats to see who's playing well. So my guess is if we're scoring a lot, it means Russell Wilson's having a nice season. He hasn't really regressed. And, yeah, he's been all right. 12 to 18 interceptions, not great. 95.7 passer rating. This guy, Chris Strava, isn't really good. But, yeah, 1,580 yards. We'll take it. 65% completion percentage. Javonte Williams having another nice year. 689 and 6 TDs. Dude's dominating. Receiving-wise, Judy's been really good. Tim Patrick, Courtland Sutton's been solid. Our blocking has been relatively good. Josie Jewell leading tackler with 55 tackles, starting the second. He's got 30. 27 for Simmons and Sanders. How are sacks looking? 4 sacks for Randy Gregory. 3.5 for Zach Allen and Boogie Basham Jr. 2.5 for Nathan Shepard. so that's nice to see. Adrian Phillips and Patrick Surtain II, they've got 2 interceptions apiece. One for Simmons, Jewell, and Mathis. That's not too bad as well. Chase McLaughlin, 3 of 5. Kicking, punting, got Riley Dixon. Kick return and punt return there for the boys as well. And that is all she wrote. So let's go back if we can. Thanks. So yeah, we're first in total offensive yards, and that's great. It's great to see. Our passing is near the top of the league, and our rush is obviously going to be second. So very helpful there. Offense is pretty high-powered, as we're scoring 25.3 points per game. And defensively, it's also pretty good. I mean, top out of the league in terms of total yards allowed. So we're not allowing too many yards. 1456 on the passing is what it said. I think that's middle of the league. But our rush defense has been pretty solid, 680. And we've allowed 139 points, which is, pretty solid. The team's playing well. Not going to make any moves. Let's just rock it out second season, see how this team does, and we'll go on from there. All right, guys, so we finished the season at a 10-7 record, and we're taking on the Bills in the wild card. Yeah, we had a good season. Made the playoffs, wild card team, like you saw. So offensively, we're pretty solid. Defensively, you can see some giveaways, a lot of those. Rush TDs, not too much of those. And, yeah, I mean, defensively pretty solid. But the Bills are a pretty high-power team, and I can imagine us losing in the wild card to them. But at the very least, we did make the playoffs in our second season, so that's promising as, yeah, they were really good. And that's your playoff picture, in case you guys were curious. Let's take a look here at the stats on the season. Curious to see what that looks like. So if we go... We got Russell Wilson, who ended up having an okay year. Not too bad. 29 TDs, 18 interceptions. A little too much in the interceptions, but 95.6 pass rating, 3,758 yards. Still good. I mean, 1,413 rushing yards for Javonte Williams and 11 TDs is absolutely phenomenal. Dude's a monster. Tremaine Dawson is our secondary back. Really, really good. Jerry Jeudy, in terms of receiving yards, 1,109 yards, 8 TDs. Cortland Sutton, 713 yards, 4 TDs, 643 for Greg Dulcich, and yeah, pretty solid stuff. Blocking-wise, for the most part, pretty solid, as you can see there. Mike McGlinchey, he had 7 sacks. Defensively, Josie Jewell, 118 tackles. Riley Moss had 173. 73 for Phillips, 71 for Shaquille Griffin. In terms of total sacks, we've got 8.5 for Randy Gregory, 6 for Zach Allen, 4 for Nathan Shepard, 3.5 for Boogie Basham Jr. I love that name, Boogie Basham Jr. And in interceptions, 4 from Surtain II. I love that. 2 from a bunch of guys down here, and 1 for Simmons. Chase McLaughlin, 13-19 kicking, not that great. Punting, you can see your kick return and punt return as well for the boys. All right. Total offensive yards, 4th in the league. Love that. That is really good. It's really good. Not much to say there. I mean, when you're passing the ball pretty well, which we were pretty solid in that department, near the top of the league, and when you rush like we do, which we did do pretty well, and you score like us, 22.9 points per game, you're going to end up doing pretty well making the playoffs. And defensively, we were also pretty solid, total offensive, defensive yards allowed. So, yeah, we were good there. Pass yards allowed. It could have been a little bit better there. That was pretty bad. But our rush was really good. And 360 total points allowed is, I guess, around the middle of the pack, maybe a little bit below that. But nevertheless, still good enough. Now, can we beat the Bills? That's the question that is yet to be answered. So we're going to go to the Super Sim. We're going to go to the full game, Super Sim. I'll see you guys once we're there. All right, here we are. And let's go to the Super Sim. We're going to fast forward and see how we do in this wild card game against the Bills. And starting off with a 7-0 touchdown for us. That's nice to see. Can we get to 14? We can't. Oh, we got to 10, though, so that's not too bad. Second half, 10-0, scoreless the Bills are, but they get a field goal there. 10-3. We can score again 17-3. They get a field goal, 2 field goals, and we're going to end up winning 20-9 against the Bills. Wow, I did not see that coming. Shout out to the boys. 20-9. Bills with a disappointing ending to their season as Russell Wilson gets us to the divisional. That's beautiful. Shout out to the boys. How did we do in terms of stats? Well, Russell Wilson was really good. 170 yards, 2 TDs. Not a lot of yards, but 82% completion percentage. That's really good. Jerry Jeudy, 5 receptions, 69 yards. Nice. And yeah, 15 carries for Javonte Williams. In the divisional playoff, we've got the Bengals, best team. They were really good. You can see their rankings. Pretty solid stuff. We'll see if we can beat them. Joe Burrow, 99 overall. Dude's a monster. Can we beat them? Let's find out. All right, so we're taking on the Bengals, and Shannon Sharpe is in the crowd today. Just so you guys know, Shannon Sharpe is in the crowd. Will that give us any good luck? Well, let's find out. I didn't meant to jump to the entire game, but only went to the next play. We'll zoom into the end of the game here. Starting it off, can we score? We can't. First quarter, well, Bengals just got 10 points. About to get 17. Yeah, we're getting destroyed right now. We can't seem to score, but we finally get a touchdown there. 17-7. They get a field. 20-7. Can we score again? We do. 20-14. Get a stop there. Fourth quarter, it's close. Really, really close, but they held on as the Bengals beat us by 6 points. We just couldn't score again. And I was going to stop and hop on in, but unfortunately I didn't do that. So the Bengals ended up eliminating us, and they're going to move on to the AFC Championship game as we lose in the divisional. All right, so our season comes to an end. I mean, Russell Wilson ended up having a pretty solid game. He had like 2 TDs and like about a 70-something percentage completion. So it was pretty solid, but unfortunately just not good enough as we ended up losing by 6. I mean, we're going to the next season and see what we could do. We're not going to have a lot of cap room. That's the only problem. Very minimum moves that we can make to improve this team. I don't know. It depends on how good of a season we have next year will determine if I want to move Wilson or not, just because he could be making so much money. So let's go to the offseason, see who ends up winning the Super Bowl, look at the awards, and then go on to our third offseason. So the Bengals ended up winning the Super Bowl 30-24 against the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys that reside in Dallas. Joe Burrow, Super Bowl MVP, as the Bengals win their first Super Bowl. You see the awards: Lamar Jackson, Zach Taylor, Lamar Jackson, Parsons, Caleb Williams, and Clay Bentley. All right, let's go on to the offseason. All right, we actually have a little bit of money to play around with here, $36.1 million. And Jeudy is a free agent. Javonte Williams, whatever re-sign. Quinn Miners, Justin Simmons. There's a lot of guys here that I want to keep. Boogie Basham Jr., Baron Browning. So a lot of guys that need to be negotiated. So let's see if we could end up keeping any of these guys. $36 million is not a lot of cap room, so let's see what we can do. Ran out of money here. We only have $3.7 million to play around with. So yeah, Quinn Miners, Baron Browning, and of course Boogie Basham Jr. I mean, I can't really resign them. I mean, could probably resign Riley Dixon, just be our punter, which I think I'll just do. But that's it. I mean, I'm pretty much out of money. $2 million. Okay. I'd have to free up money somehow to get these players on the team again. If there's anything I do here, I would love to try and see. I mean, again, it would have to probably involve Russell Wilson at some point because he's making a lot of money. I mean, Patrick Surtain's also, I think, making a ton as well. So there's that. Yeah, but yeah, Russell Wilson's really the big one. McGlinchey's making a lot too. Randy Gregory, he's also making $16 million. Oh man, there's a lot of these guys that are making just a ton of money that we could probably maybe look to move. I feel like I want to move Randy Gregory. I think because we can get a better left outside linebacker at half the price. I think. So let's see if I can move him for something. All right, I traded Randy Gregory to the Packers for a 5th round pick next season. Nothing too crazy there, but just to free up a little bit of money. So if I needed to trade for somebody, I could, and we do have a little bit more cap space to bring back a couple of those guys. So I'm happy with that. All right, I didn't do too much in free agency, but I did get a few players. I mean, again, nothing too wild. But I did re-sign Quinn Miners. I couldn't afford to get Basham back. So it is what it is. We did get Dio Odingbo. So we got him to be our left end, fifth scheme team. He's 74 overall. He's 25 years old, so he'll definitely develop. And then Zach Bond, just another left outside linebacker. Again, it's kind of weak, a little bit of weak left outside linebacker move, but we got him. So nothing too crazy there. Let's go on to the draft, see if there's anybody there. I think we have a first-round pick. So if we do, I'll let you guys know what that looks like, and we'll just look at the draft recap. But it's nothing too crazy. It's auto-generated rookies anyway. All right, I'm gonna take a risk here and take Thomas Huggins here, top 5 talent in QB. In the event that I want to move Russell Wilson, so we're just gonna take Thomas Huggins with our first pick. I think that's gonna be a pretty solid option. In case you guys are curious at the draft recap, here are the other people that are on our squad. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, obviously got Huggins. We got Amani Khan, Ryans, Metcalf, Caleb Lee, Lindsey Benz, Jack Matthews, and Lance Hooks. So nothing too crazy. Let's go on to our third season. With the third season upon us, I am a bit concerned with how good this team's going to be. I feel like we're not very talented, but we'll see what ends up happening. Let's look at the roster. So, QB, still got Russell Wilson. He's a 36-year-old, 74 overall. Might look to move him. I might have to look to move him at some point. I mean, and then maybe just make Thomas Huggins, like, our starter. Running back, still got Javonte Williams. He's really good. Dawson as well as our secondary back. In terms of wide receivers, Judy's look coming to his own. Cortland Sutton's looking pretty good as well. Dulcich is our tight end. We've got Roderick Jones, left tackle. Ben Powers, left guard. Center is Lloyd Cushenberry II. We've got Quinn Miners as our right guard. Mike Glinchey, right tackle. Left end's Uda Ingbo, who's hurt right now, so it's going to be Angel Truman. Zach Allen, right end. Assad Mason's our defensive tackle. We don't really have a defensive tackle. Zach Bond is our left outside linebacker. A bit thin there as well. Jewell and Sanders, mid linebackers. Right outside linebackers, Nick Bonito. We got Patrick Surtain II, really good cute corner. We got Shield Griffin, who's looking good too. Still, Riley Moss, DeMar Mathis. Justin Simmons, still free safety. Lamar Ferguson is our strong safety. An 80 overall. We don't have a kicker, so we're just going to sign a kicker because we don't have one. And that's going to be it. I mean, we're just going to keep the team as is for the third season. Maybe the mid-season we can try to make a trade, but we are a bit strung for money. So let's try to get a kicker. Harrison Butker, love to get him, but I don't think I can afford him. Oh, I can. I lied. Harrison Butker, welcome to the squad. Nice. All right, so we're going to get Harrison Butker. Do we have any money for a defensive tackle? Because we certainly need one. I would honestly just take like a Javon Kinlaw for the season. Or Tristan. I'll take a Javon Kinlaw. Can we afford him? You bet. So he'll be our other defensive tackle. Nothing too crazy there, but maybe it'll boost up the defense a little bit. And then if I can get a better left outside linebacker, I don't know if I can afford one. Tyus Bowser. I am a bit strung on money, so can't sign one. Not a big deal. We'll maybe look to make a move at the mid-season point if we want to try to acquire a left outside linebacker. But let's see how this team does. I'll see you guys at the end of, well, once we get to the mid-season. All right, so we're sitting at 3-4 right now, which isn't very good. But the rankings are not much better. Let's take a look here. It might be time to move Russell Wilson if he's not doing well. But let's see. Maybe he is doing well. He's not. 5 TDs, 7 interceptions, 75.4 pass rating. Yeah, it's not looking great for him. So I think it's time to move on from him and, you know, swallow our losses and try to just acquire some different players for Wilson, maybe some draft picks. I think maybe this year we kind of just let Huggins take the reins and see how he can do. But yeah, looking at our receivers, they're not doing too great either. So yeah, I think we just try to trade for some different positions, maybe round ourselves out. Russell Wilson, I mean, you were good for while you last, but yeah, you're making way too much money for me if you're going to be playing like that. Jewell, 45 tackles to lead the defense. We've got how many sacks? 3.5 for Allen, and then 1 from a bunch of guys down here. Half a sack from Moss. Yeah, we're not really doing too well defensively either. 5 interceptions as a team. Kicking, Butker's been really good though. Dixon, punting, got your kick return and punt return as well. So let's, 22nd total offensive yards. Pretty low. Our passing is close to the bottom of the league, and our rush has not been as great as in years past, but still pretty good. Still top half of the league, but yeah, we're only scoring 18 points a game, which is a little bit low. Total defensive yards allowed is pretty bad. Passing is pretty high. Our rush is also top half of the league in terms of middle-ish. Yeah, 159 points. That's right there. Ugh, a little too high for my liking. Yeah, I think we got to move Russell Wilson, try to get a few players for him. Again, his contracts are really expensive, so we'll see what he can get. And we're going to have to just rock with the rookie, see what he could do, Huggins. And if he can't do anything, then maybe we should try to get a better QB and hope for the best going forward. All right, I traded Russell Wilson to the Patriots for Devon Godchaux. I just needed to salary dump him, and I did. Maybe probably should have gotten a pick out of it, but quite frankly, I'm fine with just moving Russell Wilson. So, I mean, I guess we improved the defense. We're going to let Huggins start. We're going to have a little bit more cap space now to play around with. It was free and see hums around, so let's see what ends up happening. I'll see you guys at the end of the year. I'm not going to make any other trades, so let's see if we can somehow make the playoffs. I don't think so, though. I can't really tell the standings, but it looks like we were terrible. The standings kind of glitched out. What were we? Probably really bad. We were the worst team in the league. 3-14. That's really, really bad news because we don't have our pick. Well, that sucks. Okay. So who played quarterback? Let's find out. Was it not Huggins, or was he just that bad? He was just that bad. 85-1 passer rating, 13 TD, 7 interception. I mean, it was tough for him. I mean, Thomas Huggins, again, we didn't have a full season. Also, Javonte Williams is hurt. That doesn't really help. Mentor, yeah, it's kind of hard when your boys are hurt. Receiving, Mims Jr., Judy, Sutton. He missed a couple games. So, yeah, a little bit of injuries hit us. Our blocking was pretty bad defensively. Jewell, Sanders, nothing too special there. I guess it was a bit of a transition year, I guess. Zach Allen, 6.5 sacks. Benito, 4, 3.5 from Sanders. Adeyingbo, he had 3, 2.5 for Javon Kinlaw. In terms of interceptions, just 2 from Jewell and 1 from a bunch of guys down here. Kicking-wise, Butker was perfect. I wouldn't mind keeping him around. Dixon was not too bad as punter. Kick return, punt return as well there. Again, we were the worst team in the league. There was not much to really be happy about after this past season. Worst offense by far in the league. Probably not even close. In any category, passing, third worst. Rushing was near the bottom as well. 15.3 points per game is just putrid. Defensively, we weren't much better. So, down below in the bottom there. Our passing was pretty lackluster as well. Bottom half of the league. Rush defense, worst. Second worst, only to the Seahawks. 420 points allowed. Third most allowed points in the league. So, that's a bit tough. But, again, injuries and just Russell Wilson was regressing, and I just, too making too much money. So we'll have a little bit of money at least to play around with in free agency. We're going to try to make a few moves and try to sign some talented players, and hopefully everybody stays healthy, especially Williams. I need Javonte to be healthy. So let's advance to the Super Bowl and see who ends up winning it, and hopefully have a good off. All right, we got $134 million in cap room, but we got 17 players that are up for contract. That's another thing we have to be kind of worry of. And Patrick Surtain second, got to keep him around the team for sure. A few other guys out here, wouldn't mind trying to keep them too. I'm just going to re-sign Butker if he wants to be on our team. $2 million, we'll throw him like multi-year deal, 3-year deal. Yeah, there you go. I mean, if you're going to be perfect from kicking, I want to keep you. Obviously, want to re-sign Patrick second. Got to get him on the team. I'll throw in whatever it takes. So, please sign that. No. No. How much is his franchise tag? No. All right, we'll just try to re-sign him in free agency. We're going to overpay for him in free agency and hopefully get him back. But yeah, I'm going to try to see if we can offer some of these other guys contracts. And we'll accept Broderick Jones' fifth-year option, of course. And I'll see you guys with other people that we couldn't get signed. A team wants to test free agency. A lot of our guys. We did sign a few guys back. So, but yeah, big guy to sign is Patrick Surtain second. I want to make sure we keep him on the team. But we're going to have a lot of money to play around with. So let's try to improve this team as best as we can. We got a little bit of draft capital as well, but it's really nothing too high. And not having our picks sucks, but... You know, you're on the risk. We ran the risk, played the game, and probably not the best idea. So, but we can make it up here in free agency if we have a really good one. So let's have a boss free agency. All right, I had one of the most abysmal free agencies, and not even really because we didn't sign a lot of people. The people I wanted to sign, first off, I lost Patrick Surtain second. I'm pissed about that. He went to the Steelers. I wanted George Kittle. George Kittle would have been nice to have on the team. Nope, didn't get him. So our free agency ended up with Roswell Douglas, Jonathan Jones, Javon Hargrave, Ethan Pochich, Dylan Parham, David Ajabo, Kate Otten, Arnold Ebiketie, and then Marquise Blair. Guys, a lot of these guys fit the scheme of the team, but it's not looking good next season. I'm a little bit worried. Maybe we can stay healthy and Javonte Williams just run the ball constantly. But, we'll have cap room next season, but as you can see, every time we do the fourth season free agency, it's always kickers and punters, and I don't need those. So, next season, if there's anybody that's really good, I just got to overpay for them in free agency. Because this year is going to be, once again, another terrible season. So, yeah, I'm just going to see you guys at the start of the fourth season, because the draft really doesn't matter at this rate. Season's here. I'm not excited for what this season's coming up to bring us, but let's just see what ends up happening, I guess. Yeah, QB, we've got Thomas Huggins up to 77. We'll see what he can do. It's a full-time starter. Javonte Williams still hurt. Hopefully he can really be healthy. I need him. Dawson. Wide receivers, Judy still here. Mims Jr., Andrews. Yeah, we don't really have tight ends, Kate Otten. I don't have a third wide receiver. Broderick Jones, left tackle. Ben Powers, left guard. Centers, Ethan Pochich started. Quinn Miners, right guard. Mike Lynchy's right tackle, left end's Deo, Zach Allen, right end, Javon Hargrave, defensive tackle, Arnold Ebiketie, he is our left outside linebacker, mid linebackers, Sanders and Jewell, Ajabo's hurt right now, so Benito is going to be our right outside linebacker, cornerbacks, Douglas, Jones, Moss, Shaquille Griffin, safety still Justin Simmons, Lamar Ferguson, strong safety, and then Harrison Butker, kicker, Riley Dixon, punter. We at least have a first-round pick, but yeah, I'm a bit worried about how this team's going to perform. We look really bad on paper, but sometimes the ratings can be deceiving. So, we'll just see what ends up happening. If we look at our, improved team. Improved team, EA. Come on. Back. Thanks. I want to look at the improved team functionality. I just want to look at the rankings and where we are. You can see it's not great. Luckily we have a lot of money to play around with, but if free agency isn't that great, then we're just going to have to make a ton of trades and a lot of moves for the final season to actually make the playoffs. So I'm looking at the team, and it's a bit weak. It's definitely a bit weak in some positions. But honestly, overall, though, you'd think it'd be weaker, actually. It's actually not that bad. Tight ends. Do we want to sign another tight end? Not really. But we have a lot of money, though. That's the thing. We have a lot of cap room. So we can be flexible with it. So I guess let's just see what happens in this season. And maybe we'll surprise some people. If not, mid-season it's going to be important to try to acquire some talent. All right, well, the team is 3-4, a little bit disappointing. We're not really running the ball out right now. Defensively, we're pretty putrid. So that is kind of unfortunate. But it's honestly not as bad as I thought we'd be. Yeah, we were terrible defensively. We just don't know how to play defense. But we are 3-4. So it could be a lot worse. It could be a lot worse. Chiefs are undefeated right now. I thought we'd be like 0-7 or something. Like, I thought we were going to be that bad. Surprisingly, we're not as bad as I thought we'd be, at least for right now. I mean, we choked at the second half of the last season, so, I mean, there's still a chance that we could be terrible. But I guess most of that was also due to the fact that Javonte Williams was hurt, that nobody had to throw. Yeah, Thomas Huggins isn't doing that great. 8 TDs, 5 interceptions, 83 passer rating, 630 yards. I get a little bit more out of him. Again, Javonte Williams missed so many games. It's hard to win. I mean, he missed the first, 3 games, I guess, of the season. He missed a lot of games. Hopefully, he can have a really big second half of the season and just perform like I want him to. Marvin Mims Jr. has actually looked pretty solid. 513 receiving yards. Judy, 415 from him. Blocking-wise, we've actually only allowed 3 sacks. That's impressive. I will say that. So our offensive line's been really good. Sanders, 54 tackles, lead the team. Jewell with 50. 38 for Jonathan Jones. In terms of sacks, 2 from Allen, 1.5 from Sanders, and 1 from these guys down here. Only 3 interceptions of the team. Defensively, are just terrible. Butker's been really good, though. So, kicking, punt return, kick return, and punt return. All that fun stuff. Let's head on into the stats here. 13th in terms of total offensive yards, which is pretty good. Our passing is is actually pretty high in terms of offense. Rushing wise, we're a bit low. And again, I think it's mostly due to injuries. So hopefully we can pass a little bit better or rush a little bit better. Defensively, pretty bad. Pass yards allowed is worse than league. Rush yards is actually not too bad. But yeah, we got to improve our defense somehow, some way. Second worst in terms of points allowed on defense. So something we want to improve on for sure. I think there's a move or two we can make out there, potentially, that could improve ourselves defensively. So I'm going to look around and see what we need. I'm going to see if there's any trades we can make. I don't want to do anything too crazy, but if there are moves out there, I will do something crazy. So let's see what we could potentially look to upgrade on. We have 82.9 million. Let's see if we can try to improve our defense. All right, I traded away a first and 2 second-round picks to the Jaguars. We got back Walker and Campbell. So Campbell's a really good cornerback, fits the scheme of the team, and then Walker is going to help us out in that right outside linebacker position. Thank you, Jacksonville, for that trade. All right, I traded for Claypool and Reddick from the Eagles for 3rd, 2nd, 2 4ths, and 2 6th-round picks. So, I'm trying to upgrade our talent right now. We got a lot of cap room, so welcome to the squad, guys. Appreciate it. I think that's going to be all for moves. I don't know if that's going to make our team too much better this season, but I'm hoping next season we should be pretty good. We'll have a little bit of cap room to play around with. Hopefully we can keep the squad together at the final season. But yeah, I think this year we might end up missing out on the playoffs. Maybe make a wildcard team if we get hot. That's what I'm hoping for. All right, unfortunately we went 8-9. Didn't finish the season making the playoffs. We were close, I think. Did the Chargers make it? They were 9-8. I don't know if they ended up making it. They did. If we had won just one more game, we would have made the playoffs. It is what it is. Maybe we should have made one more move, but not a problem. We still gonna have a lot of money to play around with, I think. But definitely better. Definitely got a lot of talent upgraded. I still think we have our first round pick, which we'd look to use to move. Because I'm trying to compete, fit the final season, make the playoffs. So let's take a look here and see how we did. So yeah, Thomas Huggins didn't do good. 15 TDs, 12 interceptions. Not a great ratio. 83.9 passer rating. I mean, almost threw for 3,500 yards, but I need him to do better than that. Devontae Williams, if he could just stay healthy for a full season, we could have over 1,000 rush yards for him. I think that was also part of the reason we didn't make the playoffs, because he was not healthy. So a fully healthy season for Javonte Williams, and we're in good shape. Mims Jr., not too bad for receiving, 944, 7 yards. Judy also missed a game. Chase Claypool, we acquired. Cade Otton's our tight end. So nothing too wild there. Honestly, our blocking was all right. 7 sacks allowed from Broderick Jones and McGlinchey, but everybody else, for the most part, was pretty good. Joseph Jewell led the team in tackles, same thing with Drew Sanders. Then we had Lamar Ferguson out there as well, doing his thing. I could see sack-wise, getting Reddick might have been a good choice. Son Reddick, 11.5 sacks. Zach Allen with 6, 4.5 from Jewell. Walker, 4.5, 3.5 from Sanders. So a lot of sacks. Hoping for a full season with all these guys. We should be pretty good. Lamar Ferguson, 3 interceptions, 2 from Jewell and Jones. 1 from Sanders, Campbell, Douglas, and Hooks. In terms of kicking, Butker, 13-14. We'll take that. There's your punting, kick return, and punt return. Nothing too wild there. So, yeah, our offense took a bit of a nosedive. If we take a look at total offensive yards, it was a bit stinky. Passing was near the bottom of the league, and our rush was could have been higher had we had a fully healthy season of Javonte Williams. 22.2 points per game. I feel like defensively, yards allowed, we also weren't good either. And, yeah, the passing was the worst. Our rush defense was really good. But we did allow 457 points, which was the second worst in the league. Now, I think, if we had everybody healthy, fully good, maybe that would have been different. Nevertheless, let's go on to the off-season, 5th and final season. Should be interesting. Curious to see how we're going to do in our 5th and final season with a fully healthy team and a full squad of what the roster we have. And we're going to have I think we'll have a decent amount of money in free agency. We'll try to keep a lot of our guys and try to sign some new ones, too, if there's a good free agency, that is. So let's go on to the Super Bowl, see who ends up winning it. And 5th and final season is where we're going to make our moves to try to get back to the playoffs. All right, so the Falcons beat the Ravens, so the Battle of the Birds. Falcons get a Super Bowl championship to their name. Jalen Hicks was the Super Bowl MVP. You could see the MVPs on the awards on the side. Lamar Jackson, Doug Peterson, Lamar Jackson, Max Crosby, Kevin Best, and Ray Mobley. All right, let's go on to the offseason. All right, we got a ton of money to play around with here. $104 million, 10 players up for contract negotiations. Let's see who those guys are going to be. We've got Lamar Ferguson, we'd like to keep around. Marvin Mims Jr., Drew Sanders, Chase Claypool, Ben Powers. So no one too wild. Some of these guys we could even let walk. But I would like to keep around. Oh, yeah, well, Ferguson's an option. Yes. Why would I not accept that? So, yeah, everybody else here is kind of a free agent. So we'll see if we can keep. And if anything, we'll hopefully go into free agency and we'll see some studs. And we can just try to overpay and get them on our squad. One of the people that I would want to keep, Drew Sanders is the only guy. I could franchise tag him theoretically, but I'm not going to do that. He's 25 years old. Yeah, let him test. We'll really get him back. He looks like Eminem. He looks like Eminem. Holy hell. Like, in that picture, he looks like Eminem. Let me just get a picture of Drew Sanders out here. He looks like Eminem. Like a young Marshall Mathers. A little bit. Does he not? Younger Marshall Mathers with a little bit redder hair in that picture, and it's also a little bit longer. But the face. He looks a little bit Marshall Mathers. Let me know. Eminem. All right, anyways. Let's go on to free agency. I'm hoping that this offseason is going to be crazy. I need to just see if this free agency class, can even be good. And will it disappoint? Yup. That's what I'm saying. We have a lot of money, and it doesn't really matter. It's cringe. We'll sign some guys, but it's mostly going to be if we're going to acquire like a really, really good player. It's going to be through free agency. Not through free agency, through trade. I could go off for like a Teron Johnson if I really wanted to get another corner, and I think I might just do that. We should be able to get him. So yeah, I'll just see if I can throw out some contracts here to some players and see who we end up picking up. I'm going to trade here with the Dolphins to get Winston, Garland, and Baker for a 1st, 5th, and 7th round pick this year. So I'm not going to have any draft picks, but that's fine. I wanted to acquire some talent. So we got a decent pull. Couple guys, one guy that fits the scheme of the team, just some better players overall that'll help us out. George Kittle in a 6th round pick this year for Cade Otton, a future 1st and 2/3. George Kittle fits the scheme of the team. I wanted George Kittle on my team anyway, so he's going to be a huge upgrade at that tight end spot for me. Over Cade Otton. Not to say that Cade Otton's bad, but George Kittle a bit better than him. And yeah, we got a 6th round pick for this year. Not that it really matters too much. But yeah, we have a lot of money to play around with. Let's see. I'm just going to simulate to free agency recap. I think I'm done making my signings. Whoever we get, we get. It's nothing too crazy. We might be able to make a trade next season as well. If there's any future picks, I'm just going to throw them in there and try to get as much talent as we can for this fifth and final season for the video. So let's view the free agency recap and yeah, go from there. So let's see what we got. What do we got here? Got a few signings that we made. I didn't sign a punter. I probably should have signed one. But we did get Kenny Moore the second. Cornerback got Alec Ingle, fullback. Sam Hubbard, left end. And we got a secondary running back. Another running back in Derrick Henry, fifth scheme of the team. So that's pretty much about it. I mean, we'll see you guys at the fifth and final season. And I got to sign a punter. And if there's any other trades I want to make before I start simulating, I'll let you guys... So fifth and final season on paper. Let's take a look at the roster that we're going to be fielding here. And honestly, I do think we have some talent. It's going to be a confusing season for us, but we'll see what we can do here. Thomas Huggins will be our quarterback. We've got Javonte Williams, who's finally healthy. Hopefully we can have a fully healthy season out of him. Dawson is our secondary back. Alec Ingle is a fullback. We've got Judy, Mims Jr., Claypool, wide receivers. Tight ends going to be George Kittle. Left tackle, Broderick Jones. Ben Powers, left guard. Lloyd Cushberry and Poach are centers. Quinn Miners, right guard. McGlinchey was our right tackle. Sam Hubbard is our left end right now. Zach Allen is our right end. Tyrese Winston, defensive tackle with Hargrave. Hassan Reddick is our left outside linebacker. Jerome Baker, mid linebacker. Travon Walker, right outside linebacker. We got Tyson Campbell, Kenny Moore the second, as well as Rogel Douglas, our corners. Jonathan Jones also out there too. Free safety, still Justin Simmons. And Lamar Ferguson's our strong safety. Kicker, Harrison Butker. We just need to sign a punter, which we're going to do right now. Try to get as good of a punter as we can. And I think that'll be all. Unless there's a potential trade that we want to make, which I think we could. I think we should. But let's take a look at the improved team and get a punter. And then we'll go from there. I'm hoping that this season will be good for us. That the final season. So we take a look at the punter situation. Can we pick up anybody good? Jake Camarda. Blake Gilligan. We could sign Blake Gilligan. I might sign him. That's Doug Croft. I don't want to sign Doug Croft. No, I want to sign Blake Gilligan. So we'll sign him to be our punter. And that will be it for signings. Yeah, we'll go Gilligan this time. Gilligan, yeah. So we'll sign him, and that'll be it for signings. So perfect there. And if there's any other moves in terms of trades, if I have any draft picks, I'll try to see if I can muster up a move now before we start simulating, because I think after that I'm just going to be struck out in terms of assets. So let's see if there's any out there for us, if we have anything to move. We might have a 2030 first, second, third round pick, which we might just throw those in a deal and try to get an upgrade for maybe our offensive line, or, you know, another someone for our defensive line too. Could do something like that. We do have first, second, third round picks. Let's see if we can kind of just move those in a deal, since again 2030 the video is gonna be over. Not that it really matters. And again, not meant to be realistic. Let's try to see if we can get something to help us win this season. I'll just do the Chargers, get Joey Bosa a 4th and a 7th rounder. That works with me. So we'll take that. We'll do a trade finder this time. Didn't feel like setting one up. So I mean, that's gonna help us out immensely defensively, so I'm happy with that. That's going to be it for moves. I'm hoping that that'll be what we need. I mean, I guess maybe at the midseason if we want to make something, but I do like this squad. I think we should be good. I think. So let's go to the midseason and find out. All right, well, we're sitting at 3-4. I mean, we're in the hunt for a berth, but the team is not doing too great. Sitting at 3-4. I mean, we have a shot at the wild card, but it's not looking as great as I would want it to be. So, the talent isn't quite translating on paper, at least in this season. So maybe we could turn it around in the second half of the year, but let's see what the stats are looking like. So if we click and look, What do we got? We got Thomas Huggins. I mean, 1,401 passing yards, 12 TDs, 6 interceptions. I mean, it's not bad. 92.8 percentage. Javonte Williams, he's been healthy. 410 yards, 145 from Dawson. Receiving wise, Mims is doing pretty solid. Judy's still doing his thing out there. Our blocking has been pretty good. Only allowing 12 sacks so far. I guess it's a team that's okay. Baker, leading tackle, 55-42 for Kenny Moore II. Lamar Ferguson with 38. Sacks on the QBs, 4.5 for Sam Hubbard. 2.5 for Son Reddick. 2 for Trevon Walker, which is all right. 3 interceptions as a team. That's a little bit low. Butker, 4 for 5. Gilligan's doing okay as a punter. And you got your kick return and punt return there. So, yeah, 20th in terms of total offensive yards. You got to step that up offensively. Let's see what we could do. Let's look at the total offensive yards you saw there on offense. Sort of near the bottom. Our passing is actually all right, but could be better. Rushing-wise, 703 is also fairly low. And we're putting up 22.7 points per game, which is about average, close to average. Defensively, in terms of total yards, it's a bit abysmal, mostly due to our ineptitude being able to defend against pass, and also middle of the pack against defending against the rush. 163 points allowed, close to the top. I mean, best case scenario, we can make the playoffs as a wildcard team. That's the best case scenario, I think. We have a shot. We'll try. Is there any moves that we could theoretically make to improve this team? I don't want to do managed team like that. I guess we could try to make another move for maybe a center, like for our line. Do I want to improve our blocking? They're going to help us out. Could try to get another weapon on the offensive end, maybe something on the defensive end. The problem is we don't have too many picks to work with. We have a lot of salary. We have a lot of cap room. I'll see what's out there in the market. If there's anything I like, I'll let you guys know. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep the team as and try to slip in as a wildcard team. I'll just deal with the Texans. Get Ringo for some 4th and 5th rounders, 3 4ths and 2 5ths, just to get ourselves another cornerback to help out our defense a little bit. And that's the only move I'm going to make. I'll see you guys at the end of the season. And here we are in the wild card. We got to take on the Ravens. But before we can do that, let's take a look and see how we did. I mean, overall, defensively, we really stepped it up in the second half of the season. 12-5. Really good season from us. So let's see. Statistically speaking, if we look at the stats, how do we do overall? Thomas Huggins ended up doing all right. 26 TDs, 11 interceptions, 95.7 passer rating, 65% completion percentage. So he was really good. Javonte Williams, not too bad, but he missed 6 games again. Man, I wish he was healthy. I probably should get another running back. Jermaine Dawson, 590 yards. He was pretty good. Filling in. Marvin Mims had a nice season, 894 and 10 touchdowns, 8852 from Jerry Jeudy. So he did his job out there. Blocking-wise, we had a lot of guys give up sacks, but that's okay. Jerome Baker, tackles, 107 from him, 89 from Jewel. Kenny Moore II with 83. So I like to see that. I can see, how about a great season for Sam Hubbard? 15 sacks for the man. Beautiful stuff there. Jewel with 5-4 from Walker and Allen. So the boys did their thing out there. 4 interceptions from Tyson Campbell, 3 from Ferguson, 2 from Simmons and Ringo, and a bunch of other guys had 1. 15 interceptions from Butker, which is good to see. There's your punting, kick return, and punt return in case you guys are curious. So a good season from us. We ended up having a great second half of the year. I think, what did we go? Did we go 9-1? Wow, we went 9-1. That's pretty insane. We went 9-1. Offensive yards, pretty low. Our passing near the bottom, and our rush, 1832, was probably closer to the middle. Yeah, even bottom half of the league, really. So offensively, we didn't do too well. But defensively, we were solid. I mean, yeah, we were pretty good defensively. Look at that. It's 5th least amount of yards allowed. Passing-wise, we were okay defending against the pass. Slightly above average. 1586 on the rush. We were really good there, though. Top in the league. At 337 points allowed. Yeah, we didn't let too many guys score against us. We had the 3rd most sacks. Tied for 3rd most sacks. And 13 interceptions puts us closer to the top 2. Is it enough, though, to beat the Ravens? That is the question. We're going to find out right now. Let's go on into the Super Sim. We're about to enter the Super Sim, rather, and we are the home team. So let's see how we can do here. Let's fast forward to the end of the game and see how we can do here. Starting it off with a field goal. We're up 3-0. Can we stop the Ravens? We do. Low scoring game so far in the half, 3-0. Got to be able to get a score there. They score 7-3, them. 4th quarter, they make it 10-3. Can we tie it? We can. It looks like we're going to OT, and we actually ended up winning on a field goal. 13-10. 13-10 as we beat the Ravens, and we're going to be moving on to the divisional. Not the greatest performance from Lamar Jackson. He was pretty bad. 98 yards, no TDs. I mean, Thomas Hawkins wasn't great. I mean, he was all right. 62.8% completion percent. Way better than Lamar Jackson. Only threw for 98 yards. That's really low. Divisional, we're going to be taking on the Bengals, 14-3. This team was obviously, once again, really, really good. But, I mean, technically speaking, by the rankings, we have the advantage. That doesn't mean much, of course, in this game. But let's simulate and see what ends up happening. Go to the full sim. Can we beat the Bengals and get to the AFC Championship game? That would be great. We're at the Super Sim, and here we go. Let's see if we could start off here with a score. We do with a 3-0 field goal, 2nd quarter. And it's 10-0 right now, 10-3 going into the half. We are up 10-3, make it 17-3 against the Bengals. They get another field goal, 17-6, 4th quarter. It's 17-12. 17-15. Can we hold them? And we barely hold on by 2 points. Man, they must have been really struggling to score. 17-15. Our defense locked in. And we are going to the AFC Championship game in our 5th season here. But is it enough to get to the Super Bowl? I mean, we got to be able to win against whoever we're going to be playing next. Shout out to Thomas Hawkins. He had a 228 yards, 1 TD. Burrow, not a bad game, but not the Joe Burrow game. Only 1 TD. So we actually did a pretty good job defending against the Bengals. Let's see who we're going to be facing in the AFC Conference Championship game. And it's going to be none other than the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are 15-2 on the season. Coming off a really good year, man. Trevor Lawrence, top threat. I mean, I can tell. Dude was really good. They're a good offensive team. Defensively, not too bad, but if we could stop them, then we have a shot. I mean, you can see their overalls, not great, but somehow they were 15-2. So let's see what ends up happening. Let's go to the Super Sim and see if we can get to the Super Bowl. So here we go in the AFC Conference Championship game, taking on the Jaguars. Man, the weather is terrible, but let's see how we can fare against them in today's game. Kickoff goes off, and we score, and twice. It's 14-0. They score, though, 14-7. We score again, 21-7, 21-14. 24-14 going into the second half, and it's a very high-scoring game. They get another point there, 16. 31-16, 4th quarter. Can we score again? We do. 34-16, and we're going to end up winning this game. 41-16, no, 41-23. They end up getting a touchdown there. But we are going on to the Super Bowl. The Denver Broncos are going to the Super Bowl. Let's friggin' go. We're back in the Super Bowl, baby. Let's see if we, well, not back, but we're here. We're here. Great game from Thomas Hawkins. 297 yards, 1 TD. Trevor Lawrence, not too bad, but just not good enough. So let's see if we can take on the Super Bowl. I'm excited. It's a little bit late, though. Past 1 a.m. as I'm recording this. But who are we taking on? Let's find out. All right, we're going to Tampa Bay to take on the Dallas Cowboys in the Super Bowl. CeeDee Lamb, man. Look at this guy, man. He's super good. But can we outplay the Cowboys? I mean, they got a high-powered offense. And their defense is pretty solid, I guess. I mean, 22nd defensive rank. We're 5th. I mean, but you can see, like, they look like they're okay. Not as bad as the ranking says overall. But Let's go to the Super Bowl, man. Can we beat the Dallas Cowboys? We're going to the full sim, super sim. Let's see how we do. In the Super Bowl here, taking on the Cowboys. Oh, wow, that is a really cool picture there to see. So we're going to jump. I meant to do that to the end of game. Let's sim it and see what happens. So first score, Dallas 7-0. Got to be able to get a stop. It's 14-0. Can we get a score here? We can make it 14-7 going to the half. Nope, 21-7 them. 21-14. 28-14. Got a score. We got a field goal. Can we score here? It's 35. Yeah, no, we're not going to win. Okay. We lose the Super Bowl. Once again, get to the Super Bowl and can't win, man. It's tough. That's tough, man. 35-17 as we ended up losing in the Super Bowl. Got as far as we could, man, but we just could not fare against the Cowboys, unfortunately, as they ended up beating us. Dak Prescott had a field day with our defense. 4 TDs, 323 yards. If only he could do that in real life. But he can't. I'm kidding. I kid. Or do I? I don't know. Either way, let's just take a look at the awards and then close out the video. So, let's just recap the Super Bowl and see how we did. Dak Prescott got the Super Bowl MVP. Hurts, MVP, Offensive Player of the Year. Peterson, Coach of the Year for the Jaguars. Parsons for the Cowboys, Defensive Player of the Year. The Bills and the Bears, Broderick Singleton and Terrence Archibald. So close, but yet so far from being able to win a Super Bowl. But, nevertheless, let's go to the full screen and close the video. Alright guys, well, hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, comment on most videos, go to socials, play the second channel, main channel down in the description. If you like other content, be TJP. We got to the Super Bowl, but unfortunately just couldn't get the job done. We were very, very close, but hope you enjoyed. I mean, again, I like making these videos. Maybe you guys don't like watching them. Let me know if you do or don't. It's fine if you don't. But let's see the standings. NFC Conference next team. In case you guys were curious, by standings would be the LA Rams. That would be our next team. Can we get a Super Bowl with them? I guess we're going to find out in the next video. With that being said, I'm going to head on out. Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon. Peace.